Hello and welcome to Anesthesia machine overview. This is a Mindray A5 anesthesia machine, also called the anesthesia workstation. So we are going to go through basics of this anesthesia machine, and it's a heavy duty workhorse. It can ventilate both the newborns, infants and adults. So for a start, this is our on and off machine button. So that is where you put it on. As you can see, the screen is coming on, so that is the indicator of the machine is operating very well. And when you put it on, it does its own self check. So we are going to wait for that check, but this is just a basic overview, so we are not going to go into details. We just go an overview of this anesthesia machine and what it does. So as we wait for the machine to come up, here are the basics of this anesthesia machine. We have this is called APL valve, APL valve, APL valve, and this is called a auto manual lever. Auto manual lever. So when you are ventilating the patient, you have to put it in auto position like that. And when the patient is breathing spontaneously, then the lever should be in manual position. Of course, here we have our what we call a reservoir bag. This is the reservoir bag, and next to the reservoir bag we have this gauge, pressure gauge. It checks the airway pressures. It will be indicating as you are ventilating your patient. This one is called the bellows. When the patient is being ventilated, the bellows will be moving up and down, and as you can see on the side, it indicates it is well calibrated, and the bellows will move to the depth of the settings that will sit on the ventilator, how much volume you want to ventilate your patient. Of course, here beside the bellows we have the breathing tubes. Breathing tubes, we have two of them, two breathing tubes. One, as you can see from the arrows, one is for the inspiration and the other one is expiration. This one is the expiration tube. So one tube will be taking the air and the anesthesia gases to the patient, and the exhalation or expiration tube will be taking the gases out of the patient, the gases that the patient is exhaling, and it will be going back to the machine. And then down here we have the soda lime canister. This is called the soda lime canister. As you can see inside, there are those crystals or pellets which we call soda lime. Soda lime, they help to absorb the CO2 that the patient is breathing out, so that the patient does not rebreathe in carbon dioxide. Back to the breathing tubes. Next to the breathing tubes we have these blue, you can see this blue, the sac one, this one. This is called a heat moisture exchanger. Heat moisture exchanger, some people call it bacteria filter, but the main purpose of it is to filter any bacteria or any viruses that the patient may be having, so that they do not contaminate your breathing circuit. And also the other thing that it does is it traps the moisture that the patient is breathing out, so that it adds back the moisture when the patient is breathing in, so the patient keeps breathing moisturized or humidified gases, so that the patient does not inhale dry gases. Next to the HME filter, then we have the catheter mount. This is the catheter mount from there to here, and this one, it is expandable. As you can see, is an expandable catheter mount, and it helps you to arrange your endotracheal tube so that it comes at the angle that you want it to come to the patient, and it minimizes that poor manipulation, which can cause extubation accident. I mean, next to the catheter mount, we have this is the mask. This is the face mask that is used on the patient. Remember, they come in all sizes. This is for an average adult, and this average adult, you can see the mask is clear. Previously, there used to be opaque masks like black, which have since been discontinued because you want to see if the patient is vomiting. You want to see it on the mask so that you can act quickly and sanction that vomiters before it chokes the patient. So there are other smaller masks. There are even round masks depending on the patient that you are handling. Then next to that, we have these are called knobs. You can see the knob for oxygen there is white, the knob for nitrous oxide is blue, and the knob for air is black, and with a shadow of white. So these knobs, they help you to adjust the gases as you desire. You increase, you reduce, depending on how you want to balance your gases. And next to the oxygen is the nitrous. As you can see, as I rotate the nitrous, it is going together with the oxygen. This is called a hypoxic guard. It helps to prevent a patient getting a hypoxic mixture. It makes sure that the patient does not get less than the 30% of oxygen. Remember, the air we are breathing is 21% oxygen. So this hypoxic guard is a safety feature that has been added by the manufacturer to make sure that anytime you put nitrazone, it carries oxygen together. These are some of the features that have made anesthesia safe in this 21st century. There is also air there, because there are some instances that you do not want to give patient 100% of oxygen because of the risks of complications, for example, atelectasis, which is lung collapse. So because oxygen is continuously absorbed in the body, so if you give the patient 100% oxygen, all of the oxygen continue to diffuse in the tissues and the alveoli will collapse. So there are those surgical cases that you need to dilute the oxygen either with nitrous or with air, depending with which case you are doing. There are some contraindications for nitrous oxide, for example, intestinal obstruction, because nitrous likes to displace other gases. So there are some contraindications for nitrous. In such instances, you have to use air to dilute your oxygen. So next to those knobs is of course the vaporizers. The vaporizers, we have this purple vaporizer, and we have this yellow vaporizer, which we call sevoflurane and isoflurane. This is a very good anesthetic gas for children because it does not have that pungent smell, so it is very much helpful for induction, although it comes at a cost. But also now for maintenance, we have the isoflurane, and this, of course, you can see as indicated there, they use a key filler. So you, to fill or refill the anesthetic agent, you need a key filler, which is usually inserted here at the bottom. That is where they are inserted to refill your anesthetic agent. So the reason why they are color coded is to make sure that you do not confuse. This is some of the safety features again that the manufacturers continue to add to make sure that you do not add the wrong agent to the wrong vaporizer. So isoflurane should go to isoflurane vaporizer, sevoflurane should go to sevoflurane vaporizer, because each agent has its own boiling point, it has its own